Welcome to Save the Story podcast, where books and snacks are life. I'm Nicole. That's Vanessa.
Hello. I feel like every time you say it a little bit, like, different. Like, this time you caught me off guard and you just started.
I know. I feel like I have to say it different every single time. I don't know what it is, but I feel if I say it the same, I don't know, I'm slacking somehow.
I don't think so. But okay, I'll allow it. You can do whatever your heart desires. There's going to be one time when I, like, start recording and you're just going to start talking.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. I am going to just start, because I have, like, the overwhelming urge to be like, welcome to Save the Story. I'm Nicole, that's Vanessa, sup. I'm just going to start saying that.
What do you mean? You already say that.
I know, but not every time, because I know I want to say it, and in my brain, I'm like, I can't say it again. I said it last week. So I have to be like, hello there.
Oh, you mean the sup part?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. I was like, Nicole, you just verbatim said the intro.
Like, are you okay, Nicole?
Yes.
No.
Are you okay?
No.
Oh, no. Okay, great.
So, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Why are you not okay?
Someday I'll nail this intro thing.
You've got it.
Mm-hmm. We're only 43 episodes in.
Right.
There is not very many more episodes where I could come up with a new way to do our intro. So
maybe one day you'll let me do the recording like I said 40 episodes ago.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'll just do.
And you said no.
No, I'm gonna do it different every single time. And here we are 40 episodes later. Like, I don't wanna.
Okay, so dear listeners, don't be surprised if starting on episode like 50, there's just a recording for the beginning.
Yes, it would take a lot of pressure to like think of something right on the spot. I think that's why it takes me so long to mentally prepare to get ready to say it.
Right.
Because I'm panic thinking. I'm like, fuck, what am I going to say? Say it. No, don't.
So much anxiety in our little bubble. Between the two of us, we mark off like every anxiety thing that there is.
Bring it all.
Yes. Oh, what a delightful time for us. Okay, now tell me, why are you not okay?
Oh, I don't know. I'm fine.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm fine.
Just another anxiety bubble.
Yes.
Okay.
I almost feel like we need to start putting the anxiety bubbles up, like just like
what
around our
anxiety
heads.
You're having today.
Like once we get somebody, like we make it, and we have somebody doing this, I'm gonna start demanding anxiety bubbles. So like as the episode goes on, I can be like, oh yeah, right here is when I started having anxiety about XYZ, and they can be like. Bubble. Like,
great.
It's just that people are going to be like, what in the hell? I thought this podcast was about books. And like, no, it's about Nicole and Vanessa's anxieties captured in thought bubbles.
All of our mental health issues. Yes. Well, we're recording on a different day today, and that feels weird.
Yes. It was weird, especially considering I have that little Finchy app, and I have like all the things that I have to do to prepare for the episode in there to like remind me like, oh, make sure you write all your reviews today. Make sure they're all off. So
because it was all yesterday.
It was all yesterday. So it was like yesterday. It was like, don't forget to record your episode. And I was like, I won't, Finchy. And then we didn't. And then today I didn't have that. So. Well, spoiler alert. I don't have all my notes prepared, so...
Like for the books that you're going to talk about?
I have one book prepared, and so I will only be talking about one book today.
Okay.
I started to write down notes for a second one literally less than 40 minutes ago. I don't know what I was doing, but I wasn't writing a book review.
Great. I love just like the lost time. It's a great feeling. So I have a question because we have a shared book today. Is that your only book today?
Fuck. Dang it. I have 2 books this week. Yes. I have to go downstairs to get my notes.
Okay.
So luckily, oh my gosh, I take notes as I'm reading.
Okay.
And I just jot them down in like a notebook. There's no rhyme or reason. And then I take all those notes and I organize them into thought. I see. It's like coherent thoughts.
Coherent thoughts, yes.
So semi-coherent thoughts. So, oh man, I forgot we were doing that. I have to run downstairs.
Okay, pause.
Welcome back, friends. Or welcome back, Nicole. I don't know.
Yes, welcome back. I'm glad I said it now instead of like as soon as you were done talking. I was like, okay, are we ready?
Are we ready for the shared book?
Yes.
As soon as you said it, I was like, fuck me.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I don't really have anything to tell you. Everything I have to tell you this week is all snack related. So that's a lie. I do have something that's bookish related.
Okay.
But do you want to tell me anything first before we get into that stuff?
I don't have any book news or anything like that.
Any life things that you were going to share, or we're good?
I mean, not really. We just had Memorial Day weekend, so
we did. Coming
off of a nice long break, and
yeah,
I can tell you that this weekend I don't know why I do this to myself. I'm like, I'll worry about food later, and then we end up just buying a bunch of garbage and taking it up there. Literally, the healthiest thing that I ate the last 5 days was a BLT.
Okay, I thought you were going to say water. Yeah, I drank water.
Okay, well, yep, that's okay. Yeah. I did put marshmallow on a strawberry. The strawberry was healthy, but not the whole thing.
No, as soon as you put the fluff on it, it's automatically out.
Yeah, I did share that with all of the friends that come up, the friend group or whatever. So out of all the friend group, we are the only one who do not have small children. So I was like, here, I brought some snacks for the kids. And it's like strawberry, a giant jar of fluff, and a giant jar of Nutella. And they were like, oh my God. And they're just
of course they were. And then you get to just hand them back and be like, here's your sugar-full child.
I know. Every single one of them, they were like, all the kids were like, this is the best thing ever. And every single adult was like, thanks, Nicole. You're a jerk.
Yes. Great.
So.
Well, that's fun. Yeah, I have no Memorial Day news. I did nothing. Well, we'll talk about it when we get to my snack. I'm going to tell you my bookish news first.
Okay.
It's not really news. It's an unpopular bookish opinion that I found this weekend, and I'm going to share and hope that everyone does not hate me.
So, hold on. You had something happen to you this weekend where now you are like, I have an unpopular opinion, or has this always been sitting in the back burner and you've been saving it for today?
I think it's always been there, but it fully came to realization this weekend.
All right, let me get story time.
I hate reading physical books.
Wow.
E-readers are superior to physical books in almost every way.
All right. What's the qualifier? You said almost, so.
I will say almost, because there is always going to be that factor of having a physical book in your hand, right? Like that feeling is always going to be superior to like I'm going to say Kindle, but it's really any e-reader. Not everybody has Kindle, but for me, it's the Kindle. So holding the physical book and having it beautiful on my shelf and all of that is always like, I love that part of it. Everything else, the physical act of reading it is fucking terrible.
Why?
It's uncomfortable. I can't, like, my hands start hurting from holding the books open. I can't figure out the best way. I can't lay down. I don't have a remote clicker to where I could just lay and not move a muscle except for my thumb. Like, I don't have to do anything. Like, it's so much more uncomfortable to read a physical book than it is to have an e-reader that either holding it or having it held for me with my remote. And also, one of the books the book that I read this weekend on is physical book. Like, the font was so small, like I have options when I'm reading my Kindle. Like, I could change that. Like,
you have an option for a book too. You just, give in and buy
hold a magnifier glass.
You get readers.
I wear glasses.
You get the bifocals.
You want me to wear glasses over my glasses?
Yep.
Yeah, it was like, I mean, the font wasn't terrible, but it was small enough to where I was like, if I was on my Kindle, I would increase the font size. Also, there were so many words that I kept, there was at least twice that I touched the book because I was trying to get the definition of the word. And I was like, fuck you, Vanessa, this is not the Kindle.
I have done that. If you like get in a Kindle streak or e-reader streak, and then all of a sudden you're just like,
what does this word mean?
Ah, damn it.
Fuck, this is a book.
And then you look around like,
did anybody see me do
nobody
that?
saw that. It didn't happen.
No.
But now everybody knows.
Now you know that I will do that at least once every physical book that I read. I will touch the page as if I'm going to pull up the definition of a word. So that is my unpopular opinion.
Yeah, I will say though, I mean, I know we've had similar conversations to this before, but your whole thing about being able to look up the definition of a word is 100% legit.
Yes. It's so, like, I had to ask Tim because I was like, I don't want to Google this right now. So I would just look over at Tim and be like, what does this word mean? And he would tell me. And then I'd be like, okay, cool. And keep going. Yeah. So I came to that conclusion. I've always kind of felt like that just because it's always a little bit more awkward to read them, like limited options, how you can sit or lay or whatever. And so I've kind of always felt that, but it was like real. It was real this weekend.
Yeah. I definitely don't think you can read them fast. It is harder to read fast. So in those, I also like the idea of having a bookmark too, because that was fun to have like a bookmark and like all that. I'm never going to not buy physical books, but I think I'm going to like maybe start being more strategic with the physical books that I buy. Because I don't know. It's really terrible, and it makes me not want to do it, right? Like literally there's been so many times where I will look at a book on my shelf and be like, I really want to read that, and I'll go buy the Kindle book so that I can read it in a more like comfortable way. So I might as well just not buy the physical book. That's true. I also hate that I'll buy a physical book and then like a week later I'll look and like I know that your ass wasn't Kindle Unlimited a week ago when I bought this book. And now all of a sudden. Because I fucking looked. And
yes.
So then I'm like, gosh darn it.
Yep. That's always true too. But there's my opinion for you. Take it or leave it. Hate me or love me. I don't know. But that's how I feel. And no one's going to tell me any different.
Yeah. You know, something I've always liked about physical books, and I didn't realize it was a thing that people hated, which I'm not saying, it may or may not also be an unpopular opinion, but one of my favorite things about reading a physical book is actually cracking the spines.
Okay.
Like, I will crack the spine as many times as I open the book. Like,
Okay.
I will turn the page and I will fold the book over where it's, like, halved. So...
Do you do that on only paperbacks or on hardcovers too? It doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter. Physical books, Now, if I know the book is going to be, like, it's a shelf trophy, obviously, I mean, I won't do it to that, but
Right.
if it's just a regular reader, regardless of paperback, hardcover, I love to crack the spine. I love the way it sounds.
Interesting. Yeah, so I don't think I've ever cracked the spine of a hardcover, but a paperback, because I'm so uncomfortable while I'm reading it, I will bend it in every way that I could possibly bend it to make it more comfortable for me to read. But a hardcover, I feel like I'm always afraid.
Oh, yeah. You need to
The
find
pages are just going to fall out.
You need to find a hardcover book that you're not, like, or just go to a used bookstore.
I think I have one. Just do it.
Crack the spine in a used bookstore and then run away.
I think I have one on my desk over here that I could probably do it too, because it's not one that's ever going on my shelf. So it's probably, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But now I'm going to break the spine. That's what I'm going to do.
I don't know. It's one of those, like, if you want to call it like an ASMR thing for me, like, I hear it and I'm like, oh.
Okay. I love that. I feel like that is probably an unpopular opinion, though. I will, yeah. Where were these thoughts when we had that question a couple weeks ago?
Oh, yeah, we did have that question, man.
Yes.
Update to the previous episode.
Yeah, I don't remember when we had it. It was at least a few weeks ago now, but yeah, as soon as it happened to me this weekend, I was like, why didn't I think of this? So that's my news for you.
Nice.
That's all.
Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome. Do you hate me now?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Well,
great.
I would say, I mean, not to, like, hammer on this point, I will say I think I prefer Kindle books over physical books, but it's not like by a landslide, right?
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah. I'm still going to try. I had a goal of at least 12 physical books this year. So, I mean, I'm already, with bonus bites and stuff like that, I'm already like halfway there. So, I'm still going to go with that. But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. Did you do that on purpose because you knew we were going to do 12 bonus bites?
No.
Sure.
I actually am considering the next bonus bite, whatever I pick, whatever my next book is that I pick. Ooh, maybe I'll do it with the next book that you picked. I think I'm going to read it on Kindle. I don't think I'm going to buy the book. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see how your note taking goes.
So I actually feel like I might do okay because I could just highlight in the book and then I can transcribe whatever notes over, because I have to transcribe them anyways, because while I'm reading, the notes make no sense. So I have to do it anyway, so I might as well, why don't I do it from my electronic highlight into words? We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, if it works out, I might start doing it that way too.
Okay, great.
I already bought more sticky notes.
I was going to say, you love your sticky notes, though. Your chaotic stickies.
Yes, and now that I've started color coding them, I love them more.
Right. Yes. All right, well, I have some snack talk.
Okay.
Okay, I have two things to tell you. Well, one of them is something I'm upset about, and the second one is my snack for the week.
Okay.
Which I'm also upset about.
Wow. This is the first time we've had upsetting snacks be both of our snacks.
Yeah. So I'm going to, my snack that I'm going to use this week is going to be one that I did not like, but I feel like I could still use it.
Okay.
So the first one is Starbucks came out with horchata drink that we talked about. It was it's their new summer iced horchata shaken espresso. Mm-hmm. I was so fucking excited for this. Mm-hmm. I've been talking to you about it since the beginning of April.
Which we verified.
Yes. And I had it this weekend and it was not good.
Yes. So I know you told me about it in April.
Yeah. Yes.
Because we verified. But I went down to the Starbucks today because I was at work and I was like, I kind of just want some coffee. Stretch my legs, get out of the office. I got down there and I saw the sign for it and I was like, oh my God, it's a thing. Completely forgetting that we had already talked about it. Mm-hmm. So I asked the girl who was working and I was like, is this the best thing ever? And she's like, it is literally the best drink I've ever had. And I was like, oh my God, make me.
She fucking lied to you.
She did. She was like, I see a sucker when I, that. She's like, what size do you want? And I was like, whatever the largest cup is you have. That's what I want. So I ended up
Did she give you a Trenta? Mm-hmm. Good Lord.
And let me tell you, it was a mistake.
It was a mistake.
It was a mistake. It was, I wouldn't even say that I tasted cinnamon.
No. So Tim tasted it too, and he basically said that he tasted just a little bit of cinnamon. I wonder if mine tasted maybe a little more cinnamon than yours because I got an extra shot of the horchata syrup. Mm-hmm. So he said he tasted cinnamon. I didn't really feel like that. To me, it tasted almost exactly like the hazelnut shaken espresso. It was not good. Mm-mm. Like I
was very disappointed.
I was so disappointed.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, they gave me the big Trenta cup. Uh-huh. I didn't even make it to the first line.
Oh no, what a waste of money.
I know. I dumped the rest out. I was just like, because I've been doing this thing where I try not to drink coffee after 3. So I just kind of sat there and sipped on it all day. And as I was getting ready to walk out the door, I was like, I'm not taking this with me. No. All the ice is melted. So.
I'm so disappointed. I was so excited. They had so much potential to have the best iced shaken espresso drink ever.
Yeah.
And they failed.
They did fail. So I've actually been thinking about this for a while because I've never done it before. I know a lot of people make it seem like it's super easy, but every time I have bad horchata, I'm like, I could do this better. Why don't I just do this better? And I've looked up multiple recipes and stuff like that, but I've just never committed to that. So after having that today, my thing was, I am going to figure this out. I am going to make my own horchata, and I'll just make horchata and add a shot of espresso to it, and it'll be 1,000 times better. Oh,
I know that to be fact.
Mm-hmm. So,
because I'm very disappointed and very sad about it. And all of you people out there, if you try it, first, I don't recommend you try it.
But if you've already accidentally tried it,
yes, let us know if you feel the same.
Right?
Did it also not taste like horchata to you?
Well, even did it just not taste like hazelnut shaken espresso?
Right, exactly. So dumb. Mm-hmm. So far, the best shaken espresso that they've, the oat milk shaken espresso that they've come out with has been the pecan or pecan, whatever you want to call it. That one that they do in the winter. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. That one needs to be around all the fucking time. It's so good.
I'm going to have to look for it this fall. Because I don't know if I've never had it or I just don't remember it.
I don't think you did, because I think by the time I said something to you about it, it was the end of the season. Mm-mm. So they really didn't have it. It was sold out at most locations. Yeah. And so I don't think you ended up having it.
Right. Plus, it always comes out, it seems like, at the same time as another fall favorite that I like, and it's not pumpkin spice. I do enjoy a pumpkin spice, but I feel like there's another chai that comes out about that same time, and
I think you're right.
It's like gingerbread chai, or no, that's fall. That's December. I don't know, but there is another chai.
But I think this pecan one comes out. It's like their winter, so November, December, January.
Okay. So maybe it is the gingerbread chai. Yeah. Dude, their gingerbread is on point.
Basically, I just need it to be November at Starbucks. Yes. All the time.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We already went with, I can't do the cold I need some summer. So the fact that you're already like, it needs to be November, like, Vanessa, at least let me get like a week. Week of you can nice have weather. Week. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. And then I need Starbucks to switch it. Exactly. I need it to be November. Okay. All right. So my other snack that I'm actually going to use as my rating this week is stale gummy worms.
Did you eat them by mistake?
Yeah, so I went to the movies this weekend because Tim wanted to see Thunderbolts. So we went to the movies mostly just because I wanted a bucket of popcorn.
Okay.
To myself. And I got gummy worms, like the sour gummy worms. And the first bag that I got, it basically, like, the bag, like, disintegrated in my hand as I was walking up to the counter, and like 8 gummy worms fell into my hand, and I was like, that doesn't seem right. And so she let me grab another bag, and so I grabbed another bag, but I think the whole thing was like, there must be either old or the bags got open somehow. And because on the first bag the seal was broken. So I think that's what happened. So it ended up being stale. I ate like 2 of them and was like, these are terrible. But I'm going to use them as my snack this week. Stale gummy worms.
Out of spite.
Yes.
I approve.
Thanks. So yeah, that's all.
You ready for bookies?
No, what is your snack?
BLT.
Oh, that's what you're going to use as your snack this week? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, yes. Tell me about your book now.
All right. I have 2 books.
Okay.
So this one is, we're finally there. It's happening. Number 7 in the Murderbot Diaries. Called System Collapse by Martha Wells. It is still Kindle Unlimited. It is a sci-fi. And if you remember last time I talked about how like 5, 6, and 7 kind of had that weird mix-up. Disregard number 6 and remember that number 7 happened directly after number 5. So this book follows network effect.
So 6 really does need to go above. Mm-hmm. Why did she do that?
I don't know. So I know I've had a lot of problems with books in the past and not reading descriptions or reading descriptions and like spoiling things and stuff like that. So I had no clue that was the thing. 5, 6, and 7 were out of order. So I know I said this in the last one, no clue what was going on in 6.
Yes.
I was like, where are all these people? What are all these things? What is happening? Didn't look it up because I went directly into number 7. So I was even more confused at this point. I was just like, okay, so everybody's back. And
so can I tell you, while I was editing that episode, I was like, oh, because you said in that episode that you didn't look it up either. So I looked it up. Everyone on Reddit has I'll say majority of people on Reddit said that you should switch them, that you should read them out of order. But there's a very loud, smaller percentage of people who say you must read it in publication order. And I was upset at those people.
Yeah, I'm upset at those people.
Because if the timeline is weird, then it shouldn't matter. Like, fuck publication order. Yeah,
so if you want to go out of publication order, cool, whatever. But
Yeah.
I feel like you need to make it very clear.
Yes.
Like
timeline is like this. Mm-hmm. This is the timeline order. This is the publication order. Pick your poison, basically.
Right. Yeah, or put it in a foreword or something like that.
Yeah.
So even if I don't read the forewords, at least I can't say at that point, like, why didn't you tell me?
Yes,
it's your
it's
own
no
fault.
longer. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right. Well,
I agree.
Okay, tell me about
I think
it.
I agree with like the larger populace then, because So another thing. I guess let me do the description really quick.
Okay.
So. Remember, this one happens right after Network Effect. So now we're back with Murderbot and Art's whole crew.
Right.
The things that happened in 5 are still up, like the end of 5 are still an issue in number 7.
Okay.
So without giving too much away, while they're stuck in space, they're also trying to do some philanthropy, if you want to call it that, where they're next to a planet and they're trying to convince all of these colonists that live on that planet that the corporation is only there to recruit them as like unpaid labor.
Okay.
So like if you sign on with them, they'll take you to another planet to work and you'll have a job, but you will basically be slaves. Right? So they're trying to tell them, like, hey, if you're going to leave with us.
Right. Okay.
So the problem, is that everybody on the planet is like, who can I trust? Can I trust you? Like, who are you? And should I trust them? Who are they? You've all fucked us before in the past. You're basically the same person. So the reason they can't stay on the planet, though, is because there's alien remnants on that planet. And I've never really talked about alien remnants, but it's a pretty big thing in the whole book series where if there is an alien remnant, it is almost like living in like a Chernobyl site. Where people are just like, they get sick, there's issues because of radiation or, stuff like that. So that's one of the reasons they're trying to like, we need to get you off this planet for the sake of you and your family and future generations and stuff like that. And basically all these colonists are like double middle finger. I don't trust you. So the whole book is them trying to get these colonists to trust them trying to find other colonists to like bring them back and stuff like that before the corporation convinces them to sign over their lives. Now there's something in this book that is not explained, and the thing is there's something wrong with Murderbot in this book.
Okay.
And his problem is he keeps redacted. So.
Okay.
Yep. So, like, it's not like every single time he says what his problem is, it actually just says
it's redacted
in the book. So
you never find out?
You do find out about halfway through.
Okay. Okay.
But so he's
I was like, that would be fucking crazy because the next book isn't out or even announced, right?
Yeah. What are you doing? Yeah. So, yeah. See, that part right there is what really messed me up more than anything else. Because, like I said, I had no clue. It took me probably more time than is, like, everybody else to figure out what was going on in 6. So when I got to 7, I was back at the beginning again. And I really should have reread 5. And came back to this one and probably because I had no idea what he was talking about when he kept saying redacted, and I was like, this is not helping. So yeah, I have mixed feelings about this book. I know I said it just felt like a continuation of book 5. It didn't really feel like its own story. So it's just.
Do you think any of your feelings about it stem from the fact that she put that crazy book in between?
It didn't help. But I know I said in that episode that book 5 was not my favorite book either. I actually didn't really enjoy that one. So this one being a continuation of that book, I was just kind of like...
Right. You already didn't really care about that story and like that,
yeah.
whatever. Okay.
And 80% of the book is just them looking for people.
Okay.
So nothing's really happening. And it's a continuation of a story that it was my least favorite story out of all of them.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. But I feel like if there was an 8th book out, I would probably be on my last strike, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
Like, if I read the 8th book and it was not explained or weird or, you know, the same thing as 5 and 7, I probably would be done with the series. But luckily for Martha,
yes, that's right.
the TV show is out.
Right.
I've watched the first 2 episodes. I'm going to watch the next ones tonight.
Yes.
And so I think that probably gives, hopefully, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that she's had enough time off from it. The series is picked up. I'm hoping she takes it to a new, like, something better. So
yeah,
I have high hopes that if and when she does the 8th book, 8th book, 8th and 9th book, they're great.
yes.
So she gets an extra try because of the TV show.
Because of the show. All right.
But
that's fair.
Yeah. But things I did enjoy about this book is Murderbot is definitely getting more. He has more feelings as he collects more humans, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So like,
okay.
He is just a ball of anxiety at this point, and he has all these feelings, and it does get a smidgy bit repetitive because, like, I think I said this in the last episode too, like, how many times can you say, please leave me alone, humans, I just want to watch TV, right?
Right. Yep.
But, you know, I still really enjoy his quirkiness and his anxiety and all that other stuff.
Great. Does he also need some thought bubbles?
Yes.
Some anxiety thought bubbles?
Yes, he definitely needs anxiety thought bubbles.
Okay.
But something new in this book, which I was really happy to see, is in the end of 5, they pick up another sec unit that Murderbot has helped, like, destroy his governor unit. So it's like having another baby Murderbot, except this one's different than him. So he's just like... Okay. They're like, Murderbot, you should help Sec Unit 3. And he's like, nobody, I should not be in charge of the feelings of another Sec Unit. Look at me.
No.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, it's really cute. The other Sec Unit, I really enjoyed his personality. He was different enough from Murderbot that it wasn't like having 2 Murderbots running around. So
maybe it'll follow that sec unit in like the fall if there's more follow-on books.
That'd be cool. It's definitely an avenue, right?
Yeah.
That she could expand.
Go down.
So
yeah. Well, cool.
Yeah. I don't know. 3.5. 3.5 BLTs. I have not decided if I would rate that up or down though.
All right.
So
you have time.
I have time.
You have time to think about it.
Yes.
Are you ready for our shared book?
Our totally planned shared book.
To be fair, it was planned.
I know. I fucked this one up hard.
You just weren't ready for it. Okay. So we both listened to Lights Out by Navessa Allen at the request of Nicole's sister. Hey, Kim.
Hi, Kimmy.
And she did specifically tell us to listen to it. We had to listen, so we did. Lights Out is a dark romance, and I'll give you the description. I did write down all of the trigger warnings.
Oh, did you?
If you want me to say all the trigger warnings, should I do it after or before the description?
Oh man, there are so many.
There's so many.
If you I was borderline flabbergasted. I had prep because Kim did tell me. She did say there are a shit ton. Like it's its own chapter. Like so. Yes. Let's do it up front like the book does.
Okay, great. All right. So, dark romance, everybody. Here are all of the trigger warnings. Oh, good gracious. Sexually explicit content and scenes, including anal play, discussion of past trauma, alcohol consumption, mention of off-page rape, remembered child abuse, medical content, blood and gore in a hospital setting, discussion of mental health, limited description of a mass shooting, stalking, car accident description, death of a parent, descriptions of a violent death, mention of domestic abuse, invasion of privacy, home invasion, hidden cameras, hacking, theft, unintentional cannibalism, and a desecration of a body. There's also breath play, knife play, gun play, fear play, kidnap play, primal play, mask play, and consensual dubious consent.
Yes.
And I did them in order of the way that they did them. So that's exactly how they said it in the book.
Yeah. I also wanted to add, because as I, like, the whole thing, like, oh, blood and gore in a hospital setting, there's blood otherwise, too. Like, it's one of my notes is, like, man, where is this? Yeah, so many of their fantasies involve one or both of them covered in blood. And my question is, where the fuck does all this blood come from? And then I said later, stage blood.
Stage blood, yes. I will, before I go into the description, I will say this is book 1 of however many. Book 2 is coming out this week based on when this episode comes out. It comes out on June 10th. It does not follow the same couple, though. It turns into a mafia romance, and it follows a different couple. You do meet the guy in Lights Out, but Caught Up is a different couple, different everything. It's still dark romance, but whatever. I have been seeing a lot of ARC reviews, and almost all of them say it's better than Lights Out. So keep that in mind.
Wow.
All right, so here's your description of Lights Out. Basically, Allie has found her kink, and it's fear. Like, it's essentially fear. Hot masked men who are covered in tattoos and cover themselves in blood. And the thirst trap masked man on TikTok is her favorite. She leaves him comments and says that she wants him to pretty much break into her house and or chase her and tie her up and do things to her. And well, her lucky day has arrived, and Josh is just the guy to fulfill all of her naughty fantasies. So that's basically the book. Exactly. I'm going to tell you my first reaction is, 1, what did Kim make me read? And 2, why did I like it?
And I will say, Kimberly will be so happy to hear you say that.
I'm sure.
Yes, that was pretty much my takeaway too. Was it? Like, I was listening to it and I was giggling the whole time, and I said, "What in the fuck is wrong with me?"
Seriously,
I'm just like.
Like, why do I like? So first, I will say I think this is my first dark romance. I will say right now, I liked the level of dark romance this was. I don't know that I want to read anything like super darker than this. I think this is about as dark as I want to get.
Yeah. So I know this is gonna, like, how this is gonna be a thing. This felt like light-hearted dark romance, if that makes sense.
Agreed.
Like,
yes, light-hearted dark romance, because I still felt like the romance part of it was it was there, right? Like, there was still like a level of feelings. Like, I think so. That's one of the things that I wrote down was, like, I liked them as a couple. I liked that he was supportive, and like there was the romance that was behind all of the kinks that were in was stable, and I liked it. So I think that's maybe what I need out of a dark romance. I'm not against trying one that's darker, but I feel like I know myself, and I need there to be
something to balance it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need there to be some of that like stability underneath all of the wildness, you know?
Yeah.
So I also made sure I set my expectations early, right? So I didn't go into it with any kind of whatever. I was just like, we'll see what happens. And I think that helped with how I came out of it. Yeah. So...
Yeah. So I know I told you this story, and I feel a little bit bad, because I let my experience dictate what I told you, because I listened to it first. So I was at work and I was listening to it.
Oh, I listened to the whole thing at work.
Yes. So, and my problem is my earbuds are the cheap ones, because I just have them like attached to my keychain. Oh, they're not the type where you could tap them and turn like pause. So I made the mistake of leaving my phone on my desk and walking into a break room. And somebody came up to me and started talking to me, and I was panic trying to turn them off, and it's at a part where he's like, and I'm gonna fuck you, and I was just like, please stop talking to me. So
that makes it for a very awkward break room.
Yes, it was so weird. He's like just trying to talk to me about work things, and like fucking Josh is in my ear like, and then I'll fucking cut you. And I was like, oh my god, this is not okay. Like I just ended up taking the earbud out and sticking it in my pocket, and I was like,
right,
okay, cool, awesome, whatever you need, bro. And so I know when I told you, I was like, don't listen to it at work. And I know that that held you up. And I'm glad we talked about it, because I should have prefaced my my panic.
Yes, exactly.
So
because it was easier for me. I feel like I just put them in like the noise canceling mode, and I just kind of blocked everything else out. And then I have the AirPods, so they let me turn it off at any point. So if anybody ever talked to me, I was just like, click, we're done. Like, no, don't listen. But I did feel like sometimes people walk by and they're like, they know what I'm listening to.
They can tell.
They can tell. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like, overall, I enjoyed it. Like, it was good. I do think when I first read the description, I immediately was like, I don't know if this is going to be for me. Like, stalking's not really my thing, you know, like whatever you want is cool, but like, maybe don't stalk me. I don't really want you to break into my house either. So those things are not necessarily for me. So I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like this, but I feel like, as soon as I saw how she felt about it, right, how Allie felt, she had full consent, like, at all times. I, like, that, okay, I'm in, all right, cool, we're in, I'm on board with you. And then, like, she knew that he was stalking her, basically. She knew that he was watching her, and we're there with, like, the dubious consent, you know, like,
which she was, they were talked about it beforehand, right?
Yeah, she never fully said like, no, don't do that. So, okay, I'm on board again. And then ultimately, like, he understood her boundaries. Whenever she specifically asked him not to do something, he didn't do that thing. And then he outfitted her whole entire house with like the cameras.
Yes.
So, like, I feel like this was the perfect dark romance for me to start with, and now I want nothing different than this for dark romance.
Yeah, it's like starting with the best book in a series, and then you're like scared to read other ones because like, you know, or by an author, right? You know, like, oh, I read the best book by that author. Now, do I want to read the rest of the books by that author? Because I know none of them are going to be that good. Yeah.
Yes. I forgot to say spoiler warning.
That's okay.
Well, I'll put it
too late
beforehand. I'll put a note in there or something saying like, there will be spoilers. I feel like you should know any buddy read that we do together is always going to have spoilers. So, okay. I did like the first half of the book better than the second.
Yes.
I think once we turned with the murder and also once Josh was revealed to her, I feel like once Josh was revealed, I think we got more cute couple type stuff. But I feel like the beginning part was more fun when it was like
Right.
he was fucking with her.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
So, yeah. And then once we turned to the murder, I was like, this feels weird, but I never fell out of it, you know?
Mm-hmm. That, and I just really loved Josh.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
He was just like a sexy hacker guy.
Right.
Like,
he's quirky and like,
nerdy.
Yes. And whoever did his voice, the narrator for him, was spot on.
Agreed.
I can't imagine a better narrator.
Nope.
But I wrote it down because it's one, but I don't even remember what part it is because it's been so long since it was it.
Yeah.
But like, it was in the beginning and he's like, step 1, get Allie to drop her guard. Step 2, fuck her on this couch. Oh, wait, no.
No, yeah. I did like his internal monologue. It was great.
Yes.
He was like very sarcastic with himself. Mm-hmm. And like, yeah, I was totally on board with that. He was great. Josh was fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, I just, it was just good. I liked it. It was,
yeah, but like you were saying, as soon as the murder, the guy shows up, who is to be murdered, the murderee, as soon as he shows up, I knew it was going to happen. I wasn't surprised.
Right.
I to your point, I think I lost a little bit of the story in that. And then her having mob connections was just like, how convenient.
So weird.
How convenient, yeah.
And she said, like, she hadn't talked to them in a really long time, and then they were just like, yeah, your family, come in. Mm-hmm. Like,
yeah.
That feels weird, but yeah.
So I have 2 complaints.
Okay.
The first one is if Allie could stop saying lizard brain, I would be on board. Say it 2, 3, 4 times, whatever. Uh-huh. She must have said it at least a dozen times. I get it. You think Josh is hot.
Uh-huh.
You don't have to keep saying lizard brain. Like, we're all on board. I agree. Yes. My second one, and this goes, I had to get that one off my chest, but the second one goes back to the ties, to the mob. Josh and Allie have such a disdain for all of the mob people, for what they're doing, for how they're doing business, for all these things. Like, they both talk so much shit and act so superior. Bitch, you murdered somebody.
Right.
You brought them a body. And to your point, Vanessa's point, they were like, what the fuck did you do? Why did you bring a body here? You should have taken it somewhere else, but we will help you.
Yep.
And both of them are just like, ugh.
And
mobsters.
And almost like no questions asked too. Yeah. Just like they wanted to know what happened, but also ultimately was like, yeah, we'll take care of it. Mm-hmm. Like,
yeah, he was more pissed that the body was brought to his house instead of like, why the fuck didn't you just call me?
Yes, exactly. I ended up rating this book 4 stale gummy worms.
I rated it 4 as well.
Nice.
Yes. 4 BLTs. Sorry.
Great. BLTs with stale gummy worms on it.
That might be too much.
Okay. Do you think you're going to listen to Caught Up?
Yes.
I think I'm going to, too. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever really listened to a mafia romance, dark or otherwise. Mm-mm. So I'm interested to find out how I feel about mafia romances. Mm-hmm. I guess we'll see.
I know. Like, I was trying, like, because if you want to call it like a gray, like morally gray, like, can you call mob people morally gray?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
That feels like no. That feels like no. So yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, I'm actually excited. Thanks, Kim.
Mm-hmm. Good call, Kim.
Yes. All right. Are you ready for my next one?
Yes.
Okay. So I did The Deep Dark Descending by Alan Eskens. I listened to it on Audible, and it's a thriller crime.
Yeah, you've been listening to him a lot lately.
Yes. So this book is, if you remember a while back, I listened to The Forsaken Country. And in that book, I learned that Max's wife was killed, and I wanted to find out what he did to the killer. And this was that book. Yes. So Detective Max Rupert's wife was killed, and it was ruled a hit and run. Max had a really hard time accepting the death, and after some wild deep diving that he did, he finds out that Jenny was actually murdered, and it was made to look like an accident. So when he starts to piece everything together of who was responsible for the murder, he starts his hunt. After some time, he maybe finds himself in a situation where he must decide between who he is as a broken husband and an officer of the law. And on a frozen lake in the U.S. or at the U.S.-Canadian border, he has to decide which path he's going to take. And if you remember from Forsaken Country, he leaves the force and goes and lives in the woods. So you might
already
be able to guess which way he
picked.
decided. Yes. So when we did that episode and I told you that I wanted to read this, you asked me if I was only going to read that scene or if I was going to read the whole book. I was already planning on reading the whole book, but it's actually throughout. Like, you couldn't just pick that scene out and listen to that or read that only part. It's basically like every other chapter goes back and forth of like, so the whole book is kind of set at that scene at the frozen lake, and then every other chapter is a flashback of him finding out who did it and what happened and like all the kind of stuff. So it's pretty much every other chapter is the frozen lake scene until the very end, and then you get like the end. Yeah, so I did enjoy it. It was like quite the twisty turns of things that happened, because first you think it was this, and then you find out it was this, and then the way that he finds out information too is like lucky almost. So like you get there's a lot of deceit and lies happening in the world. And also at the very end, like when you get towards the end, you almost don't know for sure if the information that he got was true.
Oh.
And so, like, for a minute, you think of, like, did he kill the wrong person?
Oh, jeez.
And you kind of are thinking that up until the very end. And then you get your answer of, like, what actually happened. So, I enjoyed it. It was not my favorite Alan Eskens book, for sure. Like, but it filled a gap in my story of what I wanted out of Max Rupert. So I rated it 3.5 gummy worms.
Now,
stale ones.
Would you say that it took away from the other book because you read that, like, or took away from this one because you read them out of order, or?
I wonder, like, maybe, but I feel like this was so much of a story on its own.
Okay.
Like, very early on, I feel like you can kind of see what's going to happen. So I think knowing that he murdered the person that murdered his wife before you go into it, I don't think ruins anything. Because I think within the first couple chapters, you're like, oh, I know where this is going.
I know what this guy wants to do.
Yeah. So it starts off very early. So I think knowing what happens after does not affect this one at all. I think it was just written differently, just written in a way that like maybe wasn't my favorite.
Okay.
But still good. I still liked having the story.
That's good.
I don't remember if I said this in the other one or not, but we do get a little bit of his partner, and her name is Nikki, and I love her. I loved her in the little piece that we got in Forsaken Country, and we get a lot more of her in this book because a lot of the time is when he's actually still working, and so he's working with Nikki. Love her. I need a spinoff of just Nikki. So that's my request.
Right.
I want a spinoff of Nikki and her life.
Put it into the universe.
Yes, I'm going to manifest it. Mr. Alan Eskens, please listen to me.
Do it.
I want a Nikki book. Okay, that's all I have.
Yay!
Yay! And I don't believe that you remember or don't remember this or whatever because your memory is a little crazy right now.
Okay.
We're not doing a pick this week.
You're right, I didn't remember.
So last week, I asked you, when you read romances, do you picture somebody in your mind, like an actor or a person or whatever?
Yeah.
And I said that I was going to add it to the discussion bowl, but then we decided we're just going to bypass that.
Yeah.
So my question to you this week is, when you're reading a romance, do you have an actor or a person that you picture in your head?
No, I don't have a good imagination. So
That's why I only have one, because I have no imagination. It doesn't matter what the man's description is. I see this one person.
yes, so I have that as well. Basically, any guy is Harrison Ford.
Okay. Like, what era Harrison Ford?
Indiana Jones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones. Got
Yes.
it.
So basically, any male is Indiana Jones, unless there has been a TV show or a movie or something that I have happened to watch first, and then, because like Murderbot, I know I keep talking about Murderbot.
Yeah,
like
you see.
I see Murderbot from TV. I am probably one of the few people who didn't want to listen to it because the guy who narrates the Murderbot series has a completely different voice.
Right.
And I just didn't like it as much. So I listened to part of one and I didn't like it, so I stopped listening. And I'm probably in the minority there. So I think it's stuff like that. Like if I've seen it in a TV show or a movie and they did a really good job, that's who I tend to see. Everybody else is Harrison Ford. Even if you're like, he has black hair and blue eyes. And I'm like, no, he has brown hair and brown eyes. And he has a whip.
Right, exactly. That's funny. So I think I agree with you in that if it's a movie or a TV that already exists, it's really hard for me to see that person as anyone else because now you've given me this like visual of it. But because of like the aphantasia or whatever, when there is a description of a person, it literally means nothing to me. Like I know what a person looks like that they're explaining, but if I don't see it, like I will never be able to picture it at all. So my go-to is always Jensen Ackles.
I'm gonna have to look this guy up.
100% of the time. Jensen Ackles. Late Supernatural seasons.
Oh.
Like that's that like bearded, like he's got to have like his scruffiness.
Oh, yep, I know who this guy is. Yeah, actually,
immediately.
That's
who it is.
The very first picture that showed up.
Yep. There you go. That's who is my romance person.
Nice.
Yes. Every single time that's who it is. So, yeah, I don't, like I said, unless it's a person who's already been cast as something, unless they're terrible. If it's like a terrible casting that makes no sense, then he's being replaced with Jensen Ackles.
Nice.
Yes. So yeah, that's my answer. And I don't think I have any other ones. I think at some point I had other people, but he kind of took over, and now that's all it is.
Yeah, I was trying to like. I know we said. I guess if you're saying like boyfriend or stuff, do you have like women that like in books, or are they just more of like a featureless blob?
Yeah, they're a featureless blob.
Yeah, I was trying because we both went straight to men, and I started talking. And I was like, but wait, do I have like a woman that is like a stand-in for that?
I tried to think. Honestly, I think that So I don't necessarily do this. Like, I don't actively think this, but I have read it somewhere before that most women put themselves in the role. So, like, when you're reading a romance or even a fantasy or anything like that, like, you as a woman put yourself in the role. So it's hard for you to see a different character. And so I don't think I ever actively do that, but it would definitely make sense why I can't think of somebody who I would put in the role, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know that I've ever been like imagine myself in the book or in that role, but I definitely know that I've done that's not what I would do.
Right.
When they're,
acting like a dumbass or
a bonehead. I'm like
miscommunication troping.
Yes.
You're like, I would just talk to them.
Yes. Like, just use your words.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I will have to think about it. I did try to come up with I just started thinking of actresses that I enjoy. I'm just going to put Kristen Stewart in everything.
Oh, good. And everything. Oh, man, that would be crazy. I can't do that. I will not do that.
No. Well, no, I'm not going to do that because I'm not putting Kristen Stewart and Jensen Ackles together in my head. Like, it's not happening. So yeah, I'm going to have to think about it and figure out who's my leading lady.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Not next time. I'll do an actual pick next time. But
okay.
For an upcoming episode, we'll have to come up with our leading ladies.
If I had to choose right now, today, it would be Selma Hayek or Catherine Zeta-Jones. Those two, I love them, and they're beautiful.
I like how you went older across the board. Men and women. You went, like, way older than us.
Mm-hmm. Because, that's what I aspire to. Like,
all right.
Someday,
I mean, I feel like that's great aspirations to have.
Someday I have to have Catherine Zeta-Jones vibes when I'm older.
Okay. All right. I mean, if you're going to want to look like somebody or have vibes of somebody in your 60s and 70s, I feel like it's not a bad place to look. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel about Jennifer Aniston. Maybe I'll put Jennifer Aniston in all of my leading ladies. She's 53 or something like that.
Wow.
And I'll take those vibes.
Okay. Nice.
So that's my answer for now. We'll see if it changes.
Okay.
Okay. Let us know who your leading ladies are and who your leading men are. And also, we still need recommendations for Nicole's book boyfriend. We need a book boyfriend for Nicole. So go to our website, savethestorypod.com. Go to all of our socials, Save the Story Pod everywhere. Give us comments, emails, messages, all the things. I think that's it. Okay.
Go there.
Give us likes, thumbs ups, give us comments, everything. We love you. Give us your anxiety thought bubbles. Okay, that's all.
Bye. Get out of here.